I just thought to myself, this is like the best day of my life, something that I'll never forget.
It was a big jump to the NBA, to the best league, and I didn't know if I could make it or not.
It was unbelievable, the passion in the moment, and couldn't help but get caught up in it.
Just that underdog. I'm just under the surface, just doing my thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, CP3. Happy birthday to you.
When the Hornets' Chris Paul won the Rookie of the Year award on his 21st birthday, it was a fitting way to celebrate a memorable debut season.
Paul off the left sideline, drives, spins, double pump shot. Good! Oh. Good! Chris Paul. No look, fastball underneath West with a two-hand dunk. Chris Paul goes baseline and jams! Yeah. Side Butler, short pass to Paul, one to shoot. Fade away, got it! CP down the right side of the lane to the rack, slam and one! Hello, Rookie of the Year!
Chris had a dream season to begin his career, and the dream began in North Carolina, where he grew up in a strong family environment.
I think I honestly have the best family that you could ask for. They're always so supportive. Anything you need, we're always there in numbers. And my grandfather was like the glue. He held us together.
Nathaniel Jones was the patriarch of the family. He was known all over his Winston-Salem, North Carolina community as a generous and respectful man. But to his grandson, he was much more than someone to look up to. He was Chris's best friend.
My dad and Chris really became closer. Chris would get mad at me and his dad sometime and call my dad.
Jones Chevron opened in 1964 as the first black-owned service station in North Carolina. Everyone in the family pitched in, and it's where Chris learned the value of a hard day's work.
Every summer, me and my brother worked out at my granddad's service station. And every morning before my mom went to work, she'd go drop us off at the service station.
It was fun. That's when we acted older than we really were. We drank coffee in the morning, wore overalls and stuff like that to work. It was so fun.
There was a full service and a self-service pump. And sometimes people would go to the self-service, but me and my brother would see him and run out there as fast as we could to the self-service, so we'd pump it for him just in case, so they give us a tip. I remember there's this one man, he was a doctor. He always gave the best tip. He made giving you $10, so every time I seen his Lincoln coming down the street, I'd beat my brother out there to pump his gas.
But Chris didn't just learn a quick first step by spending time at the gas station.
It just showed me and my brother about hard work, and that's all my granddad, preached to us day in and day out, is that you have to work. And I tried to translate that to the basketball court, in that if I wanted to play in the NBA someday, I was going to have to work hard.
Chris's work ethic led to success in high school, where he was a McDonald's All-American. He then became a National Player of the Year candidate at Wake Forest University before preparing himself for the biggest challenge of his life, entering the NBA.
I have a lot to prove, because I think a lot of times guys get to this position, get to the NBA and they become content. That's not the case for me. I love to play this game, and I still have a lot to prove, and most of all to myself, that I really belong here.
Come on up. Oh man, maybe we should do 3 or 4 of these. Come on, keep going, get a couple more. Here you go. Nice, strong.
When draft night finally arrived, Paul was ready to begin the next phase of his career. It wasn't long before his destiny would be assured as the new hope of a struggling franchise.
We can just give it to you if it helps. Okay, we're going to take Chris Paul. All right? Well, thank you. Good job, guys.
You gonna tell him? Are you gonna tell him?
Chris Paul.
With the 4th pick, the New Orleans Hornets select Chris Paul from Wake Forest University.
I don't doubt that Byron Scott and the rest of the brain trust in New Orleans are smiling to get Chris Paul.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it.
Good luck, dude.
Hey, I'm going to need it.
Have to wait too long. Congratulations.
CP3, right?
What's up, Coach? What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm sorry though. I had to tell everybody about my workout. You know how we play one-on-one. That's my fault.
See, now you know what? You ain't right. That's not right.
I ain't mean nothing by it.
You don't tell people that you go out coaching a workout. That's not right. Chris, I tell you, we're very excited about it, man. We're happy that you're a Hornet. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
I cannot wait. I'm excited, Coach.
We'll see you tomorrow at the press conference. All right?
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yes, there's no experience that I've been through that is more exciting than this time right now. You know, just being back here with all the guys, knowing that, you know, guys have gotten picked to go to the NBA, it's unbelievable. Huh? I didn't see you. What you saying? What you saying? Congratulations. Hey, you too. You already been in here.
That's what I'm saying. You skipping over me.
Well, see ya. See ya.
Months after the draft, Paul would head off to training camp. But before he could get settled in New Orleans, the city would face an unimaginable disaster, changing the plans of a team and its future star.
I'm nervous. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm real nervous. I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm anxious at the same time, but I'm nervous because I don't know what to expect.
Just pick it up, baby. Pick it up. Pick it up. Forget about fatigue. You're not tired. Let's go. We're not tired.
Non-stop. Unbelievable. Just dying.
Well, CP, show me what you got, baby. Stay low. Good.
You know, now I look back on it, we had to have that type of training camp because, you know, we're the underdogs going into every game. We have to practice a little bit harder, you know, than everybody else. And Coach was just trying to get the most out of us and try to make sure we was ready for the season.
NBA training camps can be tough on everyone, especially rookies. But as the season approached, the entire Hornets organization would be left struggling to cope with the devastating impact of Hurricane Katrina.
I remember being back home in North Carolina, just watching it on TV. It didn't look real. Down on our team, P.J. Brown, he lost just about everything. Guys that work for our team lost just about everything. You know, they were like, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do.
In stepped Oklahoma City, which gladly opened its arms after living through its own tragedy just a decade ago. It was a positive environment for the blossoming of a star rookie who carried the hopes of not one, but two cities.
I think that's why the people of Oklahoma can relate with our team, because this tragedy that we faced with the hurricane is very similar in that people lost a lot of loved ones and it's something they had to rebuild from and move on. So I think that's definitely a bond that brings us a little bit closer to the city.
Oklahoma City was home for the Hornets, but when the team made its only visit of the season to Charlotte, Chris was happy to reconnect with his roots.
I mean, this is home. These are all the people who helped me grow up and everything, and to just see how many people are coming out and supporting me, it's something special.
Under a minute remaining in the first half. Chris Paul, the one-handed runner, and a crowd of 500 plus on their feet cheering for Chris Paul.
I'd never been away from home for that long, and I think I got to go home one day.
Louisville, North Carolina. It's a little town right outside of Winston-Salem. Everyone's just so nice and genuine. We're headed back to my parents' house, the house where myself and my brother, that's where we grew up.
This is a court my dad had built for me and my brother when I was in the 5th grade. When it was just me and my brother, it'd be me and him versus two other imaginary guys. We'd come down, act like we blocking their shots and score and dunk, different things like that. My dad was, you know, nice enough to give me and my brother this court and said, go out there and work as hard as you can. And, you know, thank God I'm in the NBA now.
After reaching the NBA, Paul had a mission, reviving a team that won only 18 games the season before he arrived.
I think going into the season, a lot of people had us picked to finish last. So I tried to accept the challenge.
Paul was becoming a force for the Hornets, and it it wasn't long before opposing teams took notice.
Steve, you got Chris Paul. He's a big key. You just can't run beside your guy because he'll go up people's backs. He's tricky and with the ball, and he'll do everything he can to get to the rim.
This is Chris Paul, little stutter step for the bucket plus the foul.
My favorite thing to do is to make a nice play and to feed one of my teammates and let them score. You know, I just try to do whatever I have to do to help us win.
Rebound Hornets out to Chris Paul. Paul onto the rim. Alley-oop slam dunk.
Chris's play drew attention around the league. He was rewarded for his strong first half with a trip to All-Star Weekend in Houston, where he participated in the Skills Challenge and the Rookie-Sophomore game.
For me, this is my first one. First time I ever been here. I want to see what it's all about, especially like when all the stars and stuff get here, because I'm 6 foot. You know, I can blend in with anybody. You know what I mean? A lot of times I go places, nobody would even know I even played in the NBA or anything like that. So then when you get KG and Shaq, 6'9", 7, all these 7-footers, you know, everybody runs to them.
I'm going to create this space on you, see? With these skips. Right here.
Woo! Woo!
Paul gets his first points of the game.
I get it up that fast.
Steal by Chris Paul, and guess what?
Huh? You dunk? Yeah. Yeah, I got like 4 dunks on the season. Yeah.
Even though the rookies didn't win the game, All-Star Weekend was everything Chris could have imagined. But now, this precocious rookie would have to lead his team in a playoff chase in the season's second half. The fans of Oklahoma City were excited about the Hornets' playoff chances, and they rallied around the team's humble and hard-working guard.
Chris Paul at half court gets by Smith. Lobs to the rim.
I got 2. I got 2. Mom, I got 2. Go. Hey, shot. Get up. Yeah.
I love being a point guard and having to be a leader.
As soon as I catch the ball, you go post, you come corner. All right?
And being a leader, you have to lead by example. You can't say one thing and do another.
Nah, if I wouldn't have said nothing, I don't want to rest. You get out.
I'm also learning at the same time. In no way do I feel like I know everything, and I'm having to learn from guys who've been here, and we're trying to feed off each other.
Jay, get down. My fault. Go up. Yep.
If I have to yell at a guy, then that's what it takes, and I want guys to yell at me if I make a mistake. We all have to be on the same page.
Only a year removed from a 64-loss season, the Hornets were willed toward the playoffs by their young star.
Being a rookie, you always just want to sort of sit back and, see what happens. But when guys are telling you to be more aggressive and be more assertive, it makes it easy.
Jackson picks out Paul. What a shot by the rookie. Back-to-back pressure teardrops by Chris Paul, and he has been the leader.
I don't think there's a lot of pressure. What I do is I just try to go out, be a point guard, and be a leader, and hopefully, lead us to a victory.
If Paul appears to be more mature than his years, there's a good reason why. Back when he was in high school, he was forced to grow up quickly when confronted by tragedy.
Everybody was trying to figure out, how do we tell Chris this? This is Chris's best friend,
I remember it like it was yesterday. My cousin Jeff Jones came and let me know that my grandfather had been murdered. Been murdered by 5 teenagers at his house when he got home from work. And that killed me. That's the toughest thing I've ever been through in my life.
Chris's guiding light was gone, and the loss was devastating.
And I remember jumping out of the car near the top of the street and running down here and just seeing my granddad laid out right here in the carport, and wouldn't nobody let me get to him. And they pulled the sheet over him, and that's when it actually hit me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't get to talk to him again.
At first, Chris was just almost willing to just give up. He had told us he wasn't going to never play basketball no more.
I shut down. I know I did because I questioned. I asked God why. But what happened was my parents and my friends and family just kept telling me, he would want you to continue to play ball. Because 5 days later, November 20th, was my first high school game. My first high school game of my senior year, and that was the day after his funeral. And I didn't want to play, but my Aunt Rhonda and my mom, they just kept saying, go out there, you can do it.
Chris decided he would play as a tribute to the man who inspired him throughout his life. He developed a plan to make this game more meaningful than any he'd ever played before.
Going into the game, I said, I want to do something special tonight for my grandfather.
The children that were sitting in the section right beside us, evidently they had gotten a whiff of it. I remember one of the little boys saying, Miss Paul, he only needs a certain amount of points. And I was like, okay. I didn't pay any attention,
I didn't know how many points he had because I was coaching, and I knew he had a lot of points. But when one of the players told me, said, Coach, you need 6 more points. And I said, 6 more points for what?
As I got closer and closer, I just started to feel so excited. And I remember I had 59 points. I drove right to the lane, put a shot up, got fouled, and I was 61. God willing, I scored 61 points for every year that my grandfather was alive.
That's what he had in mind. 1 point for every year in his grandfather's life. And when he stepped to the foul line, Chris didn't want to score 1 point more.
When he got to the line and shot the free throw, he came over and he just fell in my arms and both of us just started crying. We just started crying.
Knowing that my family that was there for the funeral and my dad was on the bench, I just thought to myself, this is the best day of my life, something that I'll never forget.
The memory of Nathaniel Jones continues to drive Chris Paul to succeed. Chris wrote in a college essay, I still mourn to this very day, but what keeps me going is knowing that my best friend never gave up on me. So what would it look like if I were to give up on him?
Foul to its feet. Paul to the other end. Paul keeps, scoops and scores, and a foul!
As Chris tried to keep his Hornets in the playoff hunt, the long season began to take its toll. 1 year removed from college, he was fighting the rookie wall.
I think there's some mornings that I wake up and I really just say, how do you do it? 82 games, it's a huge difference going from 30 games. It's all about earning your stripes. When you're playing against other guys, being a rookie, they say, you haven't done anything in this league yet.
Yes, he did.
You ain't talking to me.
Yes, he did.
You ain't talking to me.
Yes, he did.
Yep. They'll go out their way just to test you because you're a rookie. They want to see if you're going to stand up for yourself or if you're going to back down. And I've always been a guy that never back down from any type of competition.
Chris learned to be tough at an early age because of the sibling rivalry with his older brother, CJ.
He was bigger than me, so if I got a lead on him, he would always just try to back me down, and I didn't like that.
Of course, Chris was shorter, so CJ used to dunk on him all the time. Man, push him, back him down, bowl him over. Oh, they used to fight.
We'd still be talking trash, after the game had been over for hours. They didn't stop until we went to sleep. That's how we were. We never wanted to lose. Never.
Despite their childhood differences, the brothers grew much closer as they got older. CJ lived with Chris during his rookie season, helping him adjust to the NBA by managing his career. Hard to believe the little kid CJ didn't want to drive to school is now his best friend.
I never thought it would have happened when we were growing up, but I guess it's a dream come true for both of us because I'm living my dream through him.
I was always the little brother, and by me being smaller than he was, I've always had to try to gain respect. And I appreciate him for that because my brother, he's just been instrumental in everything that I've gained.
Chris Paul trying to beat the buzzer. Will he? Oh, yes, he will! Yes, he will! If there's anybody who can beat the buzzer, it's going to be CP3.
Oklahoma City and New Orleans have to be grateful for a brotherly competition that produced a rugged young point guard and the leader of their team. But as the season approached its end, Chris's toughness was put to the test. After a strong start, the Hornets went 3-11 in March. Despite their slide, the team still had a shot at making the playoffs, and head coach Byron Scott wasn't letting them quit.
Take a minute, guys. Let me know when you're ready to run. I ain't got nowhere to go. We could do this till the next hour. Because if you're going to jog now, you're going to jog in the game. If you're not going to get wide, you're not going to get wide in the game. Let's go.
You know, I think us falling out of the playoff picture right now, I think we question each other a little bit. Oh, no!
Despite a 20-game improvement from the previous year, Chris and the Hornets came up short in their quest to advance to the postseason.
That's what hurts so bad, is knowing how hard we worked to try to get into the playoffs and to come up short is disappointing.
The Hornets season wasn't a total disappointment. Chris thought of his Rookie of the Year honor as an award for the entire team.
That award is something I'll never forget. When I accepted the trophy, I let them know that it's not just mine. You know, I told my teammates and coaches that I share that trophy with those guys because without them, it wouldn't have been possible. You only get one rookie season, and I think that's a great way to cap it off.
But Chris's rookie year had one more chapter left to be written. He was selected as a member of the U.S. national team, further proof that he was among the elite players in the game.
Get up, Brad. Get up, Brad. Right there. Yeah.
You just have to get excited, you know, because it's not about any one of our teams. You know, it's not the Hornets, the Heat, anybody. It's about USA basketball and just trying to get us back to where we know we can be.
The man guiding the national team was Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski, an old rival from Chris's Wake Forest days.
This is the way any United States team should play, all right? And let's start doing that this afternoon, okay? Let's go.
Competed against them in college, you know, for 2 years. And, you know, we weren't the best of friends there, but we've actually had an opportunity to get to know each other here.
I'll tell you what, Paul is great. He really gets the ball down the court quicker than anybody. He's a star. You know, he's a rising star.
Even though Chris fit right in, team veterans never let him forget that his rookie season still wasn't over. But the veterans understood that this good-natured rookie was also their hard-nosed floor leader.
Hey, fellas, hey, 0-0, man. Let's go. Let's finish it off. Hey, pick up. Yo, through.
Team USA won a bronze medal at the FIBA World Championship as a group of young stars learned to play together. Paul's whirlwind rookie year was finally over, but it wasn't long before he looked forward to his next challenge, turning the Hornets into a contender.
I hope that the season will start tomorrow. I think right now the sky's the limit for our team, and I'm just excited to get out there and see how we look.